for goodness sakes. I want to hear myself think.
We are live. I guess this is as live as we get at Martin Weiss, Steve Christie, and Sal. You know, I just don't have the bandwidth to think of anything clever. What do we got here for a score, Martin? Monday Night Football. It's a good one. Better than I think most people anticipated here.
Well, I mean, at least for the second quarter, the first quarter was field goal fest, just turnovers and the punts, and just especially after the way Buffalo came out on that opening drive, I thought they were going to score on that touchdown.
Yeah. So Buffalo was a 6-point favorite coming in on FanDuel. 53.5 was the over/under. Check. They're up 20-17, right on pace to I guess cover. They're now favored by 6.5. So if you want them in the second half, you have to lay 3.5. And the over-under is 63.5. So you have to get 27 points to surpass that. What are your thoughts about this? Now close and exciting game.
Well, I will say, so I can jinx myself and anyone who followed along with my train of thought. I said this game would go over. The Bills would win the game, but not cover. That's where it's tracking right now. And so now I've just spoiled all that for the second half. No, I think the shootout continues. I do think when you pull out an offensive lineman, a tackle like that, I wonder what that does to the second half plan there, aside from their concern about Taylor Lewan and everything else, more practically going forward, how that impacts things. But the Titans are, I feel like they kind of been a little under the radar. They didn't get out of the gate great to start the season, but this is a for real team.
The reason for that is maybe because they lost to the Jets.
Correct. Well, they deserve, but did tonight, and then combined with them playing the Chiefs next week, all of a sudden they can be awfully relevant. And I did pick the Titans to be the number 1 seed in the AFC preseason, and this would be a significant step in that direction if they should get get over on this one.
I think so. Yeah, they need to win first. I'll do a little bragging too. We went on against all odds. I said that Josh Allen would throw an interception. It was plus money, plus 108. He actually almost threw 2, maybe more coming, but he did throw 1 in the second quarter. So there's that. I had Derrick Henry to score the first touchdown. What was that, Martin, on FanDuel? I had it on Fox Bet Live. It was plus 490. I gave it out on TV.
Derrick Henry for the first touchdown was
590, something like that.
600 plus 600.
There you go. So that's good. So that's easy. The way I thought about that is obviously not a lot of risk there, but there's still value because the only reason he was so high, we saw one Martin earlier in the year that was plus 270 for first touch on one of the big running backs. I forget who it was, and that's because they were home and that's because they were favored. But because he's an underdog, you got some value in Derrick Henry, and he scored. He busted it open, down 6-0. It's going to be a fun one. Let's take a look. What do you guys like for the second half here? I have to think about this now. All of a sudden, I took the points, but now I don't know how the Bills weathered the storm a little bit. I feel.
I agree.
I like Josh Allen anytime. I was about to say I like Josh Allen anytime touchdown. It's sitting right now at plus 270.
Ooh.
I feel like Steve Levy said it earlier in the broadcast. Josh Allen doesn't have any red zone interceptions. That's not because they are intentionally they try to intentionally use him in the run game, especially down there. And just the way that this Tennessee defense is, I could see him either, if not sneaking one in, like pulling one, like we saw Tannehill do earlier in the second quarter, pulling one in and taking it around the edge.
While you have Steve Levy on your lips, which Oswego State graduate do you think has more gravitas in predicting and talking about sports? Is it Steve Levy? Is it me? Or is it Harry, who already squandered his bet of the year in the over? And actually, I'm not positive that Harry graduated, so maybe he's not in the conversation.
Does he get a mulligan on that? When you go bet of the year and it doesn't come through, are you allowed to go like, okay, that was the warm up. Now this is the bet of the year. Is it done? No mulligans as in golf.
The parlay kid demanded that you weigh in here. I said his situation, Harry's, was different than his because he claimed he would never bet again. Harry just wasted a bet. Harry, it's a different story. Except that it was off by 2 touchdowns. It was really bad. And on Against All Odds today, he tended to blame the Chiefs, even though they just about met their point total with 31. So I don't know why he's blaming them when it was a Washington team that couldn't score. But enough about
Yeah.
Harry. Who's going to score?
He's tough to pin down because he goes from safe house to safe house, like Logan Roy. He could be in Sarajevo for all we know at this point. He's slippery. That guy. Slippery like a manatee. Is he in fact?
He's Logan. He's Logan Roy Rogers. Well, that's a chicken restaurant, East Coast. I don't know. You might not get that. Anyway, he might be a manatee. All right, so you have Josh Allen to score plus 270. Let's work around this here. I think Emmanuel Sanders gets in the end zone. I like that at plus 340. Sheck, do you have any favorites to score in the second half?
Well, Marty Weiss just stole my thunder. I do like Josh Allen specifically on the ground in the second half. Instead, then I'll turn to Stephon Diggs, who weirdly is having one of those seasons. I know it's relatively early, but he's not getting in the end zone.
No.
He's getting targets, of course, as usual, but Josh Allen has fallen in love with in football terms, with some other guys. And then he's throwing the ball to Cole Beasley there at the end of the half. At some point, it's got to come around to Stephon Diggs, right? So
what happens with that ball? They throw that ball out of the game, or they use it the rest of the way? I would demand a new ball.
It's got the 19 on it. When is Beasley going to change his number to 19? If he loves it so much, he may as well go all the way in on that.
Yeah, really. Embrace it. All right, so you think Diggs scores a second touchdown. Interesting, and you get that at plus 210. Anything else jump out at us, Martin? Nothing really is changing now. It's still Bills minus 6.5 for the rest of the game and 63.5. I will say the Titans only down a field goal plus 320 is intriguing in a way. But again, I feel like it ends just about where it is now, a 3-4 point spread in there somewhere. What else looks good?
I hear Jen Piacenti in the back of my head saying Dawson Knox. He hasn't done much in the first half. And we know Josh Allen, that's one of his favorite targets as well. Like a part of the reason why Stephon Diggs hasn't been getting so many touches because Dawson Knox is.
Absolutely.
But I think I don't see much out of the Titans that's impressive to me. And I know that after Lewan didn't play in Seattle when Derrick Henry went off in the second half.
Right.
I just don't see it today. I mean, who knows? But I haven't seen anything right all weekend. So
You know what, Martin?
I mean,
no, he might not score.
Say pretty tepid self.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't
who knows is not a great. Here's what I would bet if I were you, but who knows?
Well, I bet it already. But if you listen to me all week, then if you're with me on Sunday, it didn't go well. It wasn't that I tried it on purpose. But
by the way, I did give out Jonathan Taylor. I like that. We got to keep it going now that I gave out a winner. Jonathan Taylor to lead the Sunday running backs in rushing, or whoever carried the ball for that matter. He had over 140 yards. But Martin, if you like, you could take Knox to score plus 380, but you could also take him over 28.5 yards. So that means he needs 17.5 more the rest of the way. That's not bad. That's a couple of receptions. And I feel like they're going to be throwing it, right? Because it's going to be close the rest of the way.
I do like that.
All right. Let's see. I'm looking through. Anything else jump out at you, Shaq? You're still over the moon from Sunday night. That's Zach the only night game that counted.
Over the moon. I mean, there's some games hit differently for a fan than others, and that was a grind. Oh my God, I can't imagine doing that 11 more times or whatever it's left in the season. I might just have to take a few weeks off, as a matter of fact, might IR me or whatever. But that was a rough one. But as you saw with Dawson Knox there, this isn't all-purpose yards. This is air yards for him, Martin, because all of a sudden, look what's fancy now. The jet sweep to the tight end.
Yeah.
I guess it started with Tennessee with Jonnu Smith. Then you see Eric Ebron getting the end zone on one, and then Dawson Knox had one reversed on him tonight. Maybe that's a fun pick. I don't know. How about a Bills running back? I'll zig to your zag there, Sal. Maybe if the Bills get up 2 scores, then they try to grind you out on the ground and go with Zach Moss the rest of the way.
Zach Moss to score or over 32.5?
I'm going to go. I was going to say touchdown, but you know what? I like that number better. 32.5 over in the second.
Okay, so that means he needs 22. He needs 22 second half yards. That's not bad either. All right, we'll throw all these at you. We'll put a nice little quiche in a couple minutes when we round it all up. Yeah, Shaq, to your point.
I'm sorry, Sal. I didn't mean to cut you off. One thing to note that just like last week, the Titans are now they started 2 rookies in the defensive backfield at cornerback. Caleb Fairley's down and he's out. He's not playing for the rest of the game. This Tennessee defensive backfield should be getting slaughtered and ripped apart at the end of this game, much like Lamar Jackson did to the Colts. This is going to be close. It's going to be a shootout, but you got to think like where are the injuries? And I think this is a big injury report game.
By the way, look at the size of our heads, Martin. Shaq is it's like God has oh, there you go. Okay, all right, that's easy. I don't know. Can we do that?
Well, because you're not supposed, because if you lean back, then it gives you a double chin, right? So you have to lean forward.
I'd kill for a double chin at this point. Yeah. All I want is double. Get down and double. All right, how much time we have? We have about a minute and a half. Let's review these bets. But real quick, Check, you talked about the jet sweep and Knox and all these new plays, and now everyone's doing the shovel pass too. Like Mahomes invented it or whatever. Mahomes popularized it, and now it seems like there are 3 or 4 quarterbacks backing them. It makes me think that the extra point more incentive towards the extra point going away as these more and more plays are created from the 3-yard line. But what the hell do I know? Let's just keep
I'm on board with you. I'm on board.
Yeah.
See, now you're following Marty Weiss's lead, and that's a bad path to go down, Sal. You can't tag your thoughts with,
what do you
here's
mean?
a prediction, but who knows?
No, I have no control over the rest, but that's what I would do. Just run it.
Why don't you learn a lesson from Harry and just go like, this is the lock of the year. Just do that at the end of every comment you make.
That's it. Poor Harry. What a mess. All right, so Martin, you said Josh Allen plus 270 to score? Or did Shaq say
looking at plus 290, I believe.
290
Josh
now.
Allen
It's
plus
gone
90
up.
now.
Maybe he's got a bum knee or something. I'm going to Emmanuel Sanders plus 340. Shaq, you like Diggs again to score plus 210?
I do, but you know what? The best one, the lock of the year is Zach Moss over that 32.5. I like that.
Right.
I like that a great deal.
Moss
lock of the year, he says.
Lock of the year. All right. You have to quit forever. Martin Weiss.
I was being ironic.
Over on the Knox yards. He needs 17.5 in the second half. We're steering clear of the spread or the total or anything else, and we're just going to enjoy the game and root for these individuals. And we'll be back Wednesday. We have guests. We have a lot of stuff going on Wednesday on Extra Points. Enjoy it, fellas.
Can't wait.